Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Monday, April 4th, 2016. Phil and our Ra are here in the Lynn-Life, and 12-year-old Luce is in the Jamie Body Mind. Other teammates are in other aspects of the subatomic, and most of us are in the physical as well. The issues we've been having with body snatchers and channel grabbers are just flaring out of control, so our intentions for the formally videoed portions of this effort are what our intentions have been for the rest of this last couple of days, which is to reestablish search for truth space, reestablish an environment where the presences who wish to search for truth can do so without interference from those who don't care what's really going on. As always, our foundational intention is to do what is ours to do right now in all dimensions to manifest the divine plan, since that's what our soul contracts commit us to doing. With that, the formally videoed portions of today's efforts begin.
Pulsing the vortices, asking the vortices to run on high right now.
They don't want to.
They don't want to. I just had that same feeling.
They don't want to. Okay.
Got it.
Got it. This looks like pus.
That is true. Pulsing it up through us, through us, through
What do I know? Pus is the body's reaction to infection.
That's true.
What now, in order to reestablish search for truth space? Well, what do I know? Infection is the body's reaction to an invader that isn't in harmony with the goal of good health for the presence.
That's true.
And so presumably this is a message about body snatchers in the search for truth community, and not just at the level of the control zone, but at other levels as well.
That's true.
And the fact that the vortices don't want to run on high isn't a good sign.
That's true.
Maybe the vortices have been body snatched.
That
it's
could be
possible. Or channel grabbed. And if the vortices are channel grabbed, we're in trouble.
That's true.
As a community. And what do I know? I know that Pilot Luce has been heading off track in his attempts to connect with a working higher vibration delivery system.
That's
He's
true.
pulling the top of the pillar off the central axis, just like Treehouse Luce used to do. The same mistake with different framework, but the end result was the same.
That's true.
I know what we're going to have to do is grab this search for truth pillar and straighten it.
That's
It's got
true.
kinks in it. It's got bends in it. Why? I don't know. Combinations of things. Different people asking the wrong questions and therefore getting the wrong answers.
That's true.
I know that to be true. Ask the wrong questions, get the wrong answers.
That's
and it's
true.
our foundational, unexamined beliefs, the framework for the questions that are often messing us up. The questions themselves can be worded properly, but the context is incorrect, misunderstanding, confusion, untruth.
That's
and
true.
then we get an incorrect response.
That's true.
What now? In order to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do. What our Ra would say is it isn't going to happen without higher vibrations, a delivery system that consistently delivers significantly higher vibrations
That's true.
than those that currently exist here, because all we can do is maintain a tiny clear space in a very cloistered situation, and
That's
that
true.
isn't enough to have any impact other than in the subatomic levels. And this community provides us the opportunity of being part of creating a divine miracle for the smaller subatomic as well as for the larger levels that we are subatomic too.
That's true.
For Sheldon, I'm pretty sure that healing that he participated in feels like a divine miracle. His disease is resolved. He's out playing with kids.
That's true.
If that's not a divine miracle to a little boy, I don't know what is. Now Sheldon had to do his part, and he did. He didn't resist.
That's true.
Maybe Jaden, this current sick little boy, will also do his part, and maybe he won't. He's awfully young.
He's very young.
We'll see. Let's
That's
bifurcate. All those who really want to search for truth to the central axis of the search for truth pillar. All others flung away. What do I know? I know that over the years, various and sundry guides have said to various and sundry people that the age of reason typically begins at 8 years old. It's the age at which humanoids are beginning to make their own decisions about how to think about things, primarily.
That's true.
And that sometimes it starts earlier than that, and it can start as early as 6 years old. It can.
That's true.
So the question is, has Jaden entered the age of reason? Is he making his own choices about how to think about things? Or is he just following the lead of the credible adults around him?
It feels like he's following the lead of the credible adults around him.
Well, I don't see how we're going to be able to create search for truth space inside of a child. That doesn't make sense.
Oh, that's true. Not making their own decisions about how to think about things.
No. Let's bifurcate with the intent to bifurcate as high up as we can. All those who really want to know what's actually going on to the central axis of the search for truth pillar. All others flung away. What do we know? That so far, in all of our work in larger dimensions, we've had one success, and it was a very sick 12-year-old boy.
That's not true. Josie was miraculously healed, and the room full of other children who were sick like she was sick were miraculously healed.
Well, what does success mean?
I guess that's true.
I know what success means in the context of the question. Success is wanting to know what's really going on.
Oh, that's
so
true.
Was Josie healed on grace?
Probably.
I don't think she really wanted to know what was actually going on. I think Josie wanted to get well.
I think she wanted to get well. She wanted to feel better.
Better, which is rational, and I'm not saying she shouldn't want to feel better.
That's true. That's what Sheldon wanted too.
Well, but he also wanted to know what was going on. He wanted to know what was going on. Sometimes people just want to get better, and they don't want to know what's going on. Other times people want to get better and want to know what's going on.
That's true.
And what we're looking for is someone who wants to know what's really going on. And let's assume that Jaden isn't our guy as a way to test whether or not Jaden is our guy.
That's true.
We've been assuming he is our guy. We can flip that assumption upside down and see if it still holds. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. Slowly bifurcating. Because something is going awry with the vortices, and they're worse today than they were yesterday. And let's not pretend that isn't happening. And Pilot Loose already got his redirect and seems to be headed more straight up than he was. And so something's still gone wrong that we haven't identified and addressed.
That's true.
Maybe Jaden isn't our guy. But now, in order to reestablish search for truth space. Oh, I just get the clear space feeling.
That's true, like moving up through deep space. Whoosh.
Okay. Maybe what we do for now is we recall the presences who are up there in Jaden, recall them to the smaller subatomic search for truth levels. If Jaden doesn't want to know what's actually going on, we're wasting our time there.
That's true.
But now, in order to reestablish search for truth space. And what do I know? That doesn't mean that we couldn't provide a divine healing for Jaden, but it does mean that there wouldn't be the win-win with regard to the overall assignment of manifesting the divine plan. There wouldn't be. What we need is to extend the search for truth pillar through larger dimensions as well as through smaller ones, intersecting with more and more dimensions, until we find a delivery system that consistently delivers higher vibrations.
That's true.
So picked. Are you willing to come back down and let's see if this makes it better? Dunbar, are you willing to come back down and see if this makes it better?
I think they're both willing.
Yeah. Jaden Luce doesn't want to come down, and we
No,
understand, and
that's
we
true.
acknowledge that. And Sheldon Luce is trying to figure out what the right thing is.
That's true.
So he's probably going to stay with Jaden Luce back to back for a little bit.
That's
and
how it feels.
Soul brothers working together.
Yes.
And I have no problem with that.
No, and it doesn't feel like a terrible direction.
Be of service. It's
Yeah.
kind of like people working in below expansion zone. Yeah, go be of
Yeah,
service.
that's
Or
true.
in the abused children projects. Sure, be of
That's
service. But that's not part of the search for truth effort.
No.
Why? Because he doesn't want to search for truth, and we're not body snatching. We can't go in and say, and now you shall want to know what's really going on. That's disgusting. That's body
true.
snatching. That's not what we do. If he doesn't want to do it, he doesn't want to do it, but it isn't a match for what we're looking for.
That's true. I feel Pict and Dunbar moving down through the pillar.
And I feel Sheldon Luce saying, well, wait a minute, I don't want to stay here if he doesn't want to know what's really going on. This isn't going to work.
That's true.
And I actually feel Jaden Luce saying, wait a minute, this is why I left in the first place.
Right, that's true.
And it was why he left in the first place. The soul wanted to know what was actually going on, but the body was too young to hold the space for a search for truth.
That's true.
All right, well then it's premature. Maybe you can pick it up in a couple of years. Come on back. Recall the search for truth. The vortices
Are starting to move.
Yes, they're moving.
That's true.
Okay, good. All right. Well, we learned something there.
That's true.
But now, in order to reestablish search for truth space,
It feels so good to pump the gunk out of the subatomic.
let's do that. Way up high.
Way
Feeling for a workplace.
Onto the workplace.
This is a very angry workplace.
That's true.
It kind of has the feeling of an agency that's supposed to be looking out for the best interests of the public, but is not doing that at all, is looking out for the entrenched interest or for whoever's paying them. It's corrupt.
That's how it
feels corrupt.
whoever's paying me.
It might be at that same larger level of physicality.
It
It's
might
possible.
be.
People who are supposed to be dealing with inconvenient realities and who have sold out instead.
It's definitely not smaller than that level.
Definitely not. And what do I know? That level is the next larger level up, and that it doesn't work to skip levels.
That's true.
So it presumably is still in that same level.
That's true.
These people don't want to know what's actually going on.
No.
But we can dump the gunk there because they're supposed to deal with it. And what will happen? Somebody's asking, what will happen? I don't know.
I don't know.
I know that it's in their subatomic. All we're doing is bringing up the issues that are in their own cells,
That's
in their own
true.
subatomic particles, and it's bringing it up to a higher level so that it will become more obvious so that they can deal with it.
That's true.
Whether or not they deal with it is really going to be the biggest variable in terms of what happens next and how it influences them.
That's
They have to
true.
make a choice and decide how to deal with it. They're going to, what do I know? I think it's going to make for a bigger internal conflict for them because they aren't doing their jobs, and they're going to start to feel badly about not doing their jobs, and
That's
they'll either
true.
start doing their jobs or they'll drink more.
Right. That's true.
And not only drink, they'll numb up more. They'll use electronic input to numb up. They won't have a clear, quiet second in their life. They'll have a TV blaring every moment.
That's true.
Etc., etc. That's how, there are many ways of numbing up. Alcohol is one of them. TV's another. Prescription drugs are another.
That's true.
Etc., etc., etc. But now, in order to reestablish search for truth space, just the question itself seems to clear away some of the channel grabbers.
That's true.
They don't want to answer that question,
That's true.
so they go away.
It's like the message that was coming up a few days ago of just tell people what they're supposed to be doing, and they don't want to do that, and they go away.
They go away.
What now?
In order to reestablish search for truth's faith.